I do want a lifelong partner. I've never wanted kids.
Okay.
Kids are not something that has ever interested me, but I partnership, long-term partnership is something that I'm seeking. What that may look like, totally open.
Sure.
The only expectations I have, right, are what I've shared with you is just a partner who's going to show up, meet me, and bring the same energy. I'm likely not going to want to sit still in life, so I'm not a white picket fence kind of girl. I want a sky rise in a city, with someone who can park my car.
We're coming to a close now, so I want to talk and I want to end listening more to you and talking about what you want and aspire for the future, and you can answer that however you want to.
Can I go anywhere with this question?
Sure.
I have big hopes and dreams. No, honestly, it changes every day, every month, every year. I've always been this way. I kind of go where the wind blows me. I've been very mental health privileged. I mean, I've definitely had my bouts of depression, etc. But like on the most of the time, I am happy and energetic. I wake up and I get out of bed and I'm excited to start my day. And so I am a content person. So
Beautiful.
Anything in life that really can be thrown at me, it usually I can handle it and things go well. So I have had my life plans change every hour. As of 3 days ago, I'm pretty sure I'll be moving to DC within these next few years. I'm just down. I travel all the time. I think career-wise, I love what I do. I do consulting, and I work in research, data analytics. I would love to do that in the justice system. I've always been really passionate about prison reform, if that's even a thing. And just
I would like to believe that it is.
Right.
I want it to.
Yeah, that's like, it's something I've always loved and have been passionate about. So I would love to do what I do in that realm.
Okay.
I do want a lifelong partner. I've never wanted kids.
Okay.
Kids are not something that has ever interested me, but I partnership, long-term partnership is something that I'm seeking. What that may look like, totally open.
Sure.
The only expectations I have, right, are what I've shared with you is just a partner who's going to show up, meet me, and bring the same energy. I'm likely not going to want to sit still in life, so I'm not a white picket fence kind of girl. I want a sky rise in a city, with someone who can park my car. So I mean, but I'm open. I'll just see where life goes. My sister wants to start a family, and that is probably what I'm most excited about. I'm auntie vibes. Like, I don't want to kid myself, but I want to take her kid's going to be my kid. I'm essentially like, I'm the third parent.
But I can drop you off.
Right. Exactly. And so that'll be my role. I'm already thinking like, I got to get a college fund for this kid that doesn't exist yet. But yeah, I just want to keep every day just trying to grow and be better. The more you learn, the less you know. And I'm just so interested in exploring, traveling, and meeting interesting people.
Absolutely. You're ripping my ideas now.
What do you want to do?
I mean, I would say majority of what you said. The only difference is I would not mind the white picket fence.
Right.
Only because not on some Brady Bunch and Family Matters, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air type stuff. But I just I know that that's something that being very family oriented has always been important to me. Like I said, I've had two big sides of my family, so I'm just kind of used to being around a lot of people, and I've genuinely enjoyed that. I kind of I think I like the idea of like the kids scurrying down the stairs, and you're just like, even though it's annoying at times, you're like, yeah, I want to make waffles, and let's just go and like read the paper and let's watch a show. And
you are the norm.
Yeah,
I am the lone wolf.
I like that stuff, but
Right.
also thinking about like what comes after that, right? They're grown and then they live their life, and then what do you do? Like, then not even that you have to wait till then, because I'm not doing that now, but you travel, see the world, meet interesting people, hopefully doing more of this, bringing more awareness, helping people come together, being less isolated. Yes, trying to do whatever we can to be a positive force for good, and whatever space or arena you want to be in. But regardless, I very much appreciate everything that you've put out here. I think that it never like ceases to amaze me anytime I get to have these discussions, because I think for those of us that do this type of work, and where you do get to talk to so many different people all the time, you see so much similarities. You see a lot of commonalities that other people don't know, because they're just, maybe you work with data, maybe you work with a small team, and you don't really get to get these wide, varied types of folks that you get to have these experiences with and really hear what they're about and where they came from.
We are so much more alike than we are different.
Right.
I say it all the time.
And I agree. But when you don't talk to them, like, you don't know, right? Again, judgments, we just go based on what we see.
Yeah.
So I'm always hoping that anybody who watches or listens to these, like, really understands that there's a lot more things that you might find in common with other people. Like, don't be afraid. Please speak up. Please make sure that you know that you're taking good care of yourself, like you discussed. Obviously, mental health, emotional health, very important. I always say to the men out there, because for so many of us, it's really not taught. And for many of us, we feel like it's not important. I can assure you it is. Particularly if you want to be in a relationship with a woman. It's been my experience. They want to talk about these things, so you need to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
But also just hoping that people get a little bit of a challenge maybe when they hear some of these stories and recognize there's some things that I haven't dealt with, and perhaps hearing Marissa talk about this part of her story or hearing me bring up something, I recognize I need to do something about it so that I can be in a healthier position when I want to go through the courtship process, to filter through these people or to present my most authentic self and hopefully give them a complete picture of like what I'm about and what I want. But we got to start doing the work. I'm going to make one last point. We don't have to wait until we're in the relationship to work for a relationship. We can do the work now, right?
Go to therapy, boys.
Right. You can learn before you even get in a relationship, before you even get in these situations. But I think in a lot of situations that I've seen is that people kind of feel like more pressure once they have somebody there, and they're like, oh, okay, well, now I need to be doing this and that. But that might be too late, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying it because I want it to be true. I'm just saying that's what I've observed. And I think the earlier that we engage in these discussions, if we're being more intentional in how we approach these things, more often than not, people will either make them work, or they won't maybe get so invested into a situation that they really have no business in. That's a big one.
Yeah.
I think we'll generally be happier and more fulfilled. So,
yeah, and it's not even, it's not even individuals' faults, right? Like, the society is changing, and historically there has been more pressure on the financial aspect of things, right? Today we really are seeking that emotional intelligence and that emotional intimacy, and it is not what most of our men have been raised with and taught how to do. It is a skill. It is something that takes practice, and the times are changing, and it's understandable, why you have not necessarily developed these skills, but it's also a call for action.
Yes.
That if you want to develop that emotional intimacy with a partner, these are the expectations that have to be met to achieve that.
Absolutely. And that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Because I also want to be representation. I want to be an example. I also try to make this point about, even if we have differing viewpoints, right? Being able to visualize and see respectful discourse. Right. So we can talk. We may not share every single same viewpoint, and that's okay.
We never will.
Right. And that doesn't mean we need to mistreat one another. Mm-hmm. And more importantly, I think it helps us really learn how to, again, navigate what healthy relationship building looks like. Mm-hmm. Because you're going to have two different people who have those different viewpoints. We have to find ways to not only share our points, respect theirs, and in some cases, come together. We talked about compromise. That's very important. So sometimes this might be somebody's example that they're not getting anywhere else. That's another thing that I think about. So I'm trying my best to put these together so people can see it, understand that it is possible, it is practical, and it is needed if you want the type of outcomes that you and I are describing.